We contributed to the cross-agency effort to protect the 2020 election by surging coordination and collaboration with our partners across the national security space. In conclusion, because of these and other efforts, on November 12, 2020, government and industry representatives from the election security community issued a joint statement reflecting a consensus perspective that the 2020 election was the most secure in U.S. history.
The long-known truth: there is no evidence of widespread voter fraud that would change the outcome of the election. This is from Bill Barr.
Voter fraud in California and throughout the country are exceedingly rare.
Padilla says there are a number of protocols to make sure there is no tampering with the process, especially with mail-in ballots.
The risk-limiting audit goes beyond the letter of the law there in the state of Georgia. It seems you're being overcautious. Are you seeing signs of some sort of a fraud or a sham there?
No. Commissioner, wondering if you see evidence of fraud, widespread fraud in this year's election that makes you say, you know what, we should recount the votes, or the campaign should be filing these lawsuits.
No, actually, this was an extraordinarily well-run election.
The most secure election in American history.
There is no widespread fraud. There is no deception.
California Elections Chief, Secretary of State Dr. Shirley Weber, with that message after President Donald Trump earlier this week made this claim on social media, alleging the entire elections process in California, in particular the voting itself, in his words, is rigged.
No, it's just a lie. Everything's a lie. The whole thing is a lie. The whole election was a lie.
A former Lodi City Council member is headed to jail for a 2020 election fraud scheme. Shakir Khan took a no-contest plea deal for stashing more than 40 ballots at his home for the 2020 election. He also used his personal information to register 70 voters.
The most secure election in American history.
A judge sentenced him to 3 years in jail with a third year suspended and served under mandatory supervision. If Khan violates the terms of his supervision, an 8-year state prison term could be imposed.
I can't help you. The only comfort I can offer is my promise that tomorrow morning you won't remember a thing.
Well, that's not exactly some shit you just forget.
You ever see one of these, son?
If I'm elected president, you're going to see the single most important thing that changes in America is we're going to cure cancer.
So here's the deal. I heard a rumor that you worked at McDonald's. Is this true?
I did. Yes, I did.
I didn't know that about you.
I was in school.
Now we know that the vaccines work well enough that the virus stops with every vaccinated person. A vaccinated person gets exposed to the virus. The virus does not infect them. The virus cannot then use that person to go anywhere else.
I probably smoke more Parmesan cheese than anyone that you know, I'm sure, Tracy.
A convincing victory. A victory for we the people. We've won with the most votes ever cast on a presidential ticket in the history of the nation.